Salford City Reds against the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, live from the Willows on a Saturday night in the Super League here on Sky Sports. Heady days for Salford, fourth in the table, and an impressive 28 points to 10 win against Wigan last Friday. Carl Harrison's presiding over Salford's second best start to a Super League season, 3 wins from 4, the best start since 1997, the year after they were promoted. But Wakefield, the lack of a goal kicker cost them against Huddersfield last week. They lost 16 points to 18, and they are still without Jamie Rooney, their number 1 kicker. This is the Salford City Reds lineup then. Fitzpatrick at full-back. It's Hodgson, Littler, Moole and Wilshire. Duneman is partnering Luke Robinson. The forwards, Baldwin, Alker, who is the captain, Heighton, Brocklehurst and Coley, and Simon Finnegan is the loose forward. And on the bench, it's Lange, Haggerty, Clough, and Ryan Clayton comes into the 17 this week. The coach, as I say, is Carl Harrison. Now the Wildcats of Wakefield, Paul White will play at full-back. It's Halpenny, Demetriou, Henderson and Tajulala, the 3-quarters. Sam Obst returns after suspension to partner Ben Jeffries. Forwards, it's McGilvray, Monty Beetham, who is the captain, and Elima. Solomona, who is their go-to man with Jamie Field, and Mark Applegarth is the loose forward. And on the bench, Griffin, March, Korkidas and Saxton. The coach is young Tony Smith. Well, there is Carl Harrison. Alongside him is Director of Football Steve Sims. And it is quite a backroom at Salford. They have the likes of Scott Naylor and James Lowes on the staff here as well. But Carl Harrison is the number 1 man. Alan Hunt is never far away from the situation either. And Carl Harrison, as I say, presiding over Salford's second best start to a campaign. Well, they are regarded, Wakefield, as unlucky to have lost 3 of their first 4 games, but they remain supremely confident down at Bellevue that they can achieve what they did in 2004 and reach the playoffs. They lost 3 of the first 4 in 2004 as well. The Salford City Reds in 1997, they won the first 5 before losing to St Helens. They ended that year in 6th place in the table, but it was before the playoff system that was brought in. Since 97, they've never been in the hunt for the playoffs, but this is their best squad since then, and their hopes are high. There's Tony Smith, the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats coach, 35, rated one of the best of Britain's young coaches, but like so many before him, he is finding life far from easy at the Wildcats. And I can tell you the weather really has closed in at Salford tonight. It is a bitterly cold evening. The wind is blowing quite strongly across the field. It's a very chilly night. And Steve-O's all rugged up against the weather.
It certainly is cold, and that means that the forwards will really start to get into themselves. Salford, as you've already mentioned, having a tremendous start to the season. And I suppose in many ways, this is the night when they can set a mark to really believe that they can mix it with the big boys up in the top region. They played some very attractive rugby league football, but the one thing that has improved from the last couple of seasons has been their defence. Carl Harrison has worked very, very hard in that department.
Well, there's the young mascot, Rachel Murray. She was 4 on the 1st of March, and she's here tonight with her mum, her dad, her nana and her granddad. It's a big night for her. I wonder whether it will be a big night for the Salford City Reds as well. And you can see just how cold it is. Little Rachel is also getting her top coat on for the night ahead. Phil Bentham is a new face in the referee circles in the Super League. It's his first season in the top flight, and he is the man in charge of affairs here. Phil Clark, Salford to push on with this great start, or what?
I think so. I mean, the coach, when he's been on Sky Sports, has talked about changing the perception of the Reds. I suppose themselves have to believe that they're a top 6 side, and we'll get an indication of that over the next 80 minutes.
Deep kick-off it was from David Hodgson, and the chase has to be good, and is. This has been a feature of the Salford play so far this season. They really have stiffened up their defence. They made 6 close season signings, all from Super League clubs. Andrew Duneman, though, from Leeds, probably their major acquisition.
Little doubt about that, Eddie. Duneman really has controlled things out there, and that's given them a little bit more option in the attacking vein.
Here come the Wildcats, though, and that is Jason Demetriou. But he is pursued by two, and Luke Robinson was the one who got off him the last. And the ball is fed back to Ben Jeffries, who hoists the high kick, and underneath it is the fullback, Carl Fitzpatrick.
Pretty good work there by Luke Robinson. Put a lot of pressure on the kicker, Ben Jeffries. Wasn't a good one, right down the throat.
Now here is John Wilshire, who was playing with Lee. It's his third Super League club in as many years. He was with the Lee Centurions last season. And this is Stuart Littler. Littler, who has lost his number 3 jersey this year, but has started all 5 so far wearing 19. And that is a drive forward by Andrew Brocklehurst, who gets the Salford City Reds to the halfway line. Malcolm Ulker puts the ball in field to Simon Baldwin. Ulker, the captain, takes the return. Just look for the support down the right-hand channel. It wasn't there, so the tackle is able to be made. And here is Duneman, who hoists the high kick, which travels forward in this high breeze. It bounces unkindly, and it's knocked back. And if Salford can get in here, they will score the first try, and they do, through Paul Heighton.
He'll go to the screen on this one. Want to see whether there's a knock on.
It could be a wonderful start, though, for Salford and Paul Heighton. It was a mountainous kick from Andrew Duneman.
Well, it had snow on it, hadn't it? There's certainly no knock on there as far as I could see. Certainly not by a Salford player.
Now then, are they onside? Well, everyone's in front.
There's 4 in front of the kicker. Now, do they get involved? You can see that the referee, and they have given him 10. That's fine. I think that'll be play on. I think this may be given.
But he didn't touch the ball, Steve, or did he? So if he didn't touch it, did they still have to give him 10 metres till he grabs all the possession?
Well, they have, but where is the kicker? That's what I'm saying. As Duneman advanced down the field of play, there you see him there.
There's Duneman on the 40-metre mark.
Now, if he's gone within the 10 metres, that's okay, but I don't know whether he has or not, and that's what they're looking at. Now then, does Paul White touch this? I don't think he does. Or does he?
Yes, he does.
Yep, well, Moole definitely was not in an offside position. That I can agree with you, because he came right out wide on the left centre.
What about Simon Baldwin? Who is, well, or is he involved? I suppose he is now.
He's not involved, but he is when he gets to the position, but it has been touched.
Well, let's hear the expert's view. Ian Millwood knows what he's talking about usually. What do you say, Ian?
Well, if he's inside the 10, you know, I mean, it can't be any try, you know, I mean, there's got to be. Now, a lot of teams chase down hard, but you've got to stay inside, be an onside position. That's a try.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go. I better get the rule book out again and have another check. Obviously, I'm wrong.
Well, Paul Heighton is given the try by tonight's video referee. And, well, that is great reward for the Welsh international. He's playing his 5th match in a row at prop forward, and he's been here since 1998. But what a kick from Duneman.
Certainly was. Plenty of height, but Paul White just lost it completely. You can see turning and just spinning away from him, and this is where he just touches it, and that means everyone is onside at that point. And Heighton gleefully takes the 4 points. It has been deemed to be touched, so therefore the 10-metre rule doesn't come into play. And what a start for the Salford Reds.
Well, this is the first try that Wakefield have conceded from a kick this season, but it might not be the last tonight with the difficulty Paul White had under this. Fantastic kick, great chase and deserved try.
Paul Heighton, the try scorer, and David Hodgson is the goal kicker. And amazing, really, that Salford have suffered with the lack of goal kicker this year, but David Hodgson has responded to the challenge magnificently, and he has done so again tonight, and Salford lead by 6 points to 0.
Well, I think the video referee perhaps got it right, because Aaron Moole definitely was behind the kicker. Heighton, the try scorer, they'll be happy with that. Carl Harrison, well, he'll be so joyful in regards to Paul White making a real hash of that. And as Phil Clark has already mentioned, I think Mr. White might have a busy evening.
I think Tony Smith will be beginning to wonder, Steve, when he's going to get a little bit of luck with these referee decisions. Remember last week, 2 minutes to go, controversial decision went against him, cost his team a try, and ultimately the match. The game started this way, similar fashion. Good width here now from the Reds.
Indeed so, and Robinson gets the ball away to Andy Coley.
pretty good tactics that as well. You can see that Robinson was well out wide, and a very quick play of the ball and a good link pass.
Leeds have raced into a 12-0 lead after only 6 minutes in the south of France. Catalan Dragons' problems continue then. They had a wonderful first night, didn't they? But since then, it's all gone a little bit off the rails for them. Here is Brocklehurst, meanwhile, for Salford. And Malcolm Alker, the dummy half. Duneman, who'll give it width, and he'll find Littler, and Littler will give it to Hodgson, and Hodgson dabs the ball over the top, but that's not the best. And Paul White is able to gather that kick downfield very easily indeed. Dave Hadfield is in the press benches, and they have the job tonight of naming a man of the match.
Well, we knew already that they had some match winners, potential match winners here at Salford, with the likes of Fitzpatrick and Luke Robinson, but they've signed very well, haven't they? And Wilshire and Andrew Duneman, they've already shown their value. But it's unsung players like Simon Baldwin and Paul Heighton who got that first try. They've also been big players for him in the early weeks of the season. For Wakefield, we've seen last week that David Solomon is arguably the most skillful forward in the world. He just needs to avoid getting into trouble with the referee, because they might need him for 80 minutes tonight. And they look a better side as well, I think, for the return of Sam Obst.
And there is Obst, and this is Semi Tajulala, and that is a tackle completed by Brocklehurst and Hodgson. And now it's with Obst again, and it's Jeffries, and Jeffries gives it width to Paul White. He tries to go round Coley, does well to release the ball though, and here is Solomona, here's the danger man. Over the top it goes from Solomona, is in touch though. The winger Colm Halpenny. That's good defence from Salford City Reds.
Good work by Wilshire, stayed on. Good work by the fullback Paul White. The combination between Jeffries and Obst. Sam Obst, of course, missing last week. And that is solid defence indeed. Nowhere to go for this fella.
Phil, you notice tonight that maybe we will see David Solomona in a more roving role. Talking to Tony Smith yesterday, he says that Solomona will be given the chance to operate both sides of the field tonight.
Yeah, probably need to concentrate, put a little bit of confusion in Salford's defensive minds. They need to concentrate here now. Mistake by Robinson in the back of the scrum. Wonderful opportunity. Obst here now standing out wide.
This is Solomona, who gives it to Jeffries. Oh, that's great defence though. Wonderful defence by Aaron Moore on Jason Demetriou. And here they come once more, Wakefield with McGilvray. Well, we've said that Salford have tightened their defence up this year. This is a massive test of that, as they find Sam Obst again, who looks busy. It's a great ball from Obst, and he very nearly put Jamie Field through the gap.
Good tackle by Duneman, had to be. It was a try saver. They're a little bit confused here.
Yes, Wildcats lost their way a bit there, Applegarth, and he's knocked the ball on. And Salford, well, they celebrate that defensive work almost as much as they celebrated the try.
Beautiful work from Duneman, and made sure that and there's no doubt about it, he'd lost that football. But what an error there from Luke Robinson. Knock on right from the base of the scrum. And a big relief for this little halfback.
Hey, Simon, head in.
The referee wants Simon Baldwin to bind in the scrum.
And don't be surprised for Salford to launch an attack from deep within their own quarter. They're so confident now. They get the link going very quickly, especially on that left-hand side.
Andy Coley drives it forward, halted by Beetham's challenge. And also in there was McGilvray. This is Malcolm Alker. What a servant this fellow is. 38 tackles last year, 100 more than his closest rival. He was the hitman of 2005.
And he is also the best meter gainer, over 3,000. He took them downfield, and I guess that the area that the side have worked on this year is that when he takes off and runs from there, he can find a pass to a supporting player. It'll make him even more dangerous.
Luke Robinson, he gets the ball away to Fitzpatrick, and he hits the ball downfield. It's another test for White, but this time the Wakefield full-back is up to it, and then he's clattered by a big hit from Andy Coley.
Seems to slim down slightly, doesn't he, Andy Coley, playing in the second row, but that one really was a huge hit. Not the best kick, taken on the full by Paul White. Can't afford to do that.
Tajulala up the middle for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, who trailed 6-0 after 8.25 minutes here. Now it's with Jeffries. Oh, and the ball found Solomona, but Solomona couldn't control it. Robinson has it back for Salford, and they will try and counter-attack. It's Duneman to Hodgson. He's surrounded by half a dozen, but Hodgson almost gets out of jail.
Big mistake there by the big second row, David Solomon, and normally he's very safe with his hands. It's very cold out there.
Steve-O, teams gain confidence in different areas in rugby league, from attack, their kicking game or defence. And where they gain confidence very early, Salford, is their go-to man, Solomona. They've forced 2 errors both times he's touched the ball. I know it's an area they've talked about all week they want to be strong in, and their first 2 actions have been very positive.
Well, the score continues to click away in Perpignan. Leeds 18, Catalan 6. Here it's 6-0, 9 minutes of the match gone. Salford on the attack again. This is tackle number 4, this latest set of 6. And this now is Robinson. That's a nice little chip over the top. And if it bounces kindly, it does. And they're in here with a try from Simon Finnegan. There was no doubt that Finnegan was onside. I think the man who was following up and trailing on Robinson's inside was offside, but I don't think it was Finnegan.
Was it Fitzpatrick, I think, Eddie? Came through, read the situation. He's perhaps a step in front of him, Steve-O?
He is in front of him, but I don't think he's not the man that takes the ball.
No, he isn't.
So therefore, that'll be okay. He's not interfering with it, so therefore, this try has to be given. It was a set move. Robinson knew exactly, and Finnegan was behind him. This has got to be given. This has got to be a TRY.
Well, it's up to the video referee to make another decision for Phil Bentham, and he does. It's in the positive for the Salford City Reds. And Simon Finnegan, the man, of course, who came from Widnes, arguably the best of the signings that Salford have made from Widnes this year, has made it Salford 10, Wakefield 0, with a kick to come under the sticks.
It all came about. Solomona took his eyes off the football. Spill the ball, get in a good position. Watch this. This is confidence for you. Thought he was going to shimmy, get the ball out wide. Finnegan, it had a beautiful bounce. Nothing was going to stop him. But that will please the coach, Carl Harrison. Talk about thinking on your feet. And Finnegan took it well. What a start. The Reds are running rampant.
The Reds only scored 12 tries from kicks last season. In the entire year, they've scored 2 already in the opening 10 or 7 minutes in this match, and amazing, utilising the advantage that Fitzpatrick and Finnegan have in their pace. Wonderful skill, a kick, conversion. It's all going the Reds' way.
Very much so. Salford City Reds lead by 12 points to 0. And Salford, they are full of it. They are absolutely on top of their game.
But it was a perfect little dink over the top into no man's land.
Robinson and Duneman, Steve-O, it looks a lethal combination.
Well, it should be as well. It surprised me that Leeds actually allowed Duneman to leave Headingley, because this man is a good thinker, and if anybody you need an experience to bring on the likes of young Robinson, that's a silly penalty to give away.
To be fair to Solomona, his arm was trapped underneath Brocklehurst. He couldn't get out of the way. Look, he just could not move. And what's more, Brocklehurst is rolling on to Solomona's arm as well. That's clever from Brocklehurst.
Come on, Eddie, you could see that he was trying to turtle the man with the football anyway in the first place.
That was Brocklehurst who got the penalty.
Yeah, but you could see that he was trying to turn him over, so therefore that's all the referee will see.
Another drive forward by Paul Heighton. A bit of a push and a shove. There's a little bit of frustration in the Wakefield ranks. Here is Duneman. You say that you're surprised that Leeds let him go. I don't think they had any options, Steve. The word was towards the end of last year that he was going back home, and Steve Sims, Carl Harrison moved very quickly to tempt him to the Willows. What a signing. Here he is again, Andrew Duneman, and he finds Brocklehurst, who skips inside one challenge and can't get away from the next. It was a challenge there from Mark Applegarth. This is the last tackle for Salford, and it's Duneman again. Everything is going through him, and there's Robinson. That's another nice little kick, but it's very well watched this time by Ben Jeffries.
Had to be as well. Just reach back to Jeffries.
Salford scoring at the rate of a point a minute, and they're looking impressive, Ian.
Well, Tony Smith would look at it 2 ways here at the moment, Eddie. He'd say, listen, they broke our line twice with kicks, but what he'd be disappointed with, which every coach and every team practices week in, week out, is escorting the runners off the ball. And when they've kicked, there's been more red jumpers, Salford jumpers, chasing after the ball. There's been no escorts. He's very disappointed with me, Tony Smith, them knocking off in defence.
The other thing that I've also noticed, Ian, is the fact that this Salford outfit this season looks super fit. They've done some hard work in the off-season.
Well, I know they've trained very hard, and the way they defend, they're going to have to be very fit. Here's a kick return serve here by Wakefield, which is nowhere near as promising as Salford.
Oh, the ball, though, has come free, and Wakefield have got the ball back, courtesy of Oliver Elima. Here now is Solomona. Solomona, the ball eventually makes its way to Paul White, and White was nearly through. Well, he wasn't tackled. Paul White was not tackled. Coley was entitled to pick him up and dump him. This is Demetriou. And it's another big challenge here for the Salford defence. Can Wakefield find the way through this time? They're right underneath the sticks. And that was Beetham. He gets it away to Jeffries, and they come out quickly to meet Jeffries. They know the threat that he poses. Oh, that ball came away. How on earth was that played? Good tackling again. There was no way through for Sam Hobbs then.
It's got to go to the in-goal area. They've got to try to get another set of 6.
Jeffries dabs the ball in there, and, well, Salford take the gamble. Hodgson and Fitzpatrick allowed it to go, and they was being chased there by Kevin Henderson.
Eddie, do you know, after the first 4 rounds in 2006, the Reds have the best goal line defensive record. They've made it really difficult for teams to score when they get to their own line, and that effort's paying off here now. They've denied Wakefield on 2 occasions and looking pretty strong wherever they are. And
that's very much, Ian, an Australian view, isn't it? Defence wins games, and you look in the Salford back room, Carl Harrison, James Lowes, Scott Naylor, Alan Hunt. There isn't an Aussie amongst them.
No, there isn't. They've got to get them involved with the Tri Series. They've got to get Phil to sign them up. But they are gaining confidence from that. I think there's a little bit of a dust up here.
Lima and Alka, I think, sharing an exchange of views.
I'd like to ask Phil a question here, Eddie, being Mr. Encyclopedia on their stats, is that if you look at the stats, their go-to man for Wakefield is Dave Solomono, and at the moment, what Salford are putting all their defence around him, and that's where they're forcing the errors and they're shutting him down. I think sometimes we've got to look at the game, Phil, do you agree? That sometimes you've got to use him as a way to attract defenders and go the other side.
He's already done that a couple of times. He's run a decoy run, they've tried to come out wide to the left where he hasn't been standing, so it's still only early, isn't it? But they do need other players besides Solomona to cause some problems for the Reds this evening. And
Leeds are causing the Catalan Dragons all sorts of problems.
That's great defence.
And that is great defence from Solomona and Jeffries. There's a couple of other figures in there as well.
It's early in the tackle count, and that really will lift Tony Smith.
Demetriou and Halpenny were involved. Wilshire, nowhere to go, only over the whitewash.
They've got to make sure, Wakefield, now that they get into a good position so they can apply a pressure kick. They've got to try to get good field position and then just camp down in that Salford red zone.
It's a great start, though, for Salford. They have waited 25 years before, or rather since, they occupied a place in the top 4. They were 4th in the old First Division in 1979-1980. It's been a fairly barren spell since then, apart from winning promotion a couple of times and going to Old Trafford in divisional premiership finals. As far as the top flight is concerned, Salford have been amongst the all-surrounds, but the way 2006 has started, well, they will make their presence felt this year.
And this is why they've got to be really on top of their game.
Knock on. What a mistake.
That is bad mistake.
In fact, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. Semi Tajulala.
He hasn't played it backwards, he's played it forward. Not allowed to do that.
Well, he didn't mean to do that, did he? It wasn't intentional.
Either way, it's a penalty, and it's...
Steve, I've seen that many times. This last night, Wigan 3 times didn't play the ball properly. We're in an attacking position, and week in, week out, we're seeing it more and more regular. We talk about the quality of the game, definitely improving the skill. One of the basic skills to play the ball, I found most teams aren't playing the ball properly at the moment.
I blame the coaches.
Good on you, mate.
Great offload, and Alka finds Robinson. Robinson will switch the direction of the attack. He's looking busy, it's over the top, he finds Littler. And Littler, out the back door it goes to David Hodgson. No way through, though, for Hodgson. That's rigorous Wakefield defence.
You can see that Salford are playing with a lot of confidence. They know that their teammates are going to be there. Look at them running the angles. They're running the dummy runner as well. They're working as a unit.
That was a great ball from Duneman to Gareth Haggerty, who plays the ball to Alka, who finds Luke Robinson. And Robinson, he ducks under the challenges, ducks under another challenge, makes a few more yards. Leeds running riot in the south of France. Salford 12, Wakefield 0. Salford on the attack here again. And the ball is played back to Fitzpatrick, who gets over for the 3rd Salford try. Carl Fitzpatrick, the Irish international. Well, Leeds running riot in the south of France, and Salford doing likewise here at the Willows. And it'll be 18-0 in a moment.
Wonderful team try this. Keeping the ball alive, having the confidence on each other to be there at the right moment. Unselfish running off the ball. Back on the inside, keep it moving. Look at that, beautiful step. You can see the Wakefield defence drifting across. They're totally confused. That's the way to run the angle. When a defence slides, you can catch them out.
Our try tracker shows the width with which they've stretched the Wakefield defence. Perhaps doesn't give credit to Malcolm Alker for the width of some of his passes. Outstanding there, they spread the ball across the field, and it's resulted in the third try to Salford.
Well, it's one-way traffic at the moment, but remember there have been plenty of great fightbacks by the teams in the Engage Super League this year, and if Wakefield are to get back into this match, they're going to have to be up there amongst the best of them. 18-0, Salford are ahead.
Super run. Look how the defence is sliding across to the left, and the fullback says, I'm going back on the inside. Neat step, kept low. They're running riot, and he celebrates. It's not the best forward roll in the world, but he don't care. He's got the 4.
Eddie, just before Salford came out, we saw a board in the dressing room which they got changed. In the Reds, they had Ruthless next to the R of Reds. They want to see now Carl Harrison if they can actually apply that principle. There it is, the right, Ruthless. Have they got the Ruthless streak now? 18-0 isn't insurmountable in rugby league, but 24 becomes very, very hard to come back from.
And Wakefield have just suffered a massive blow. I think Ben Jeffries has gone off the field for Wakefield.
Oh, that is a bitter blow if that's the case. He certainly just steers him around the paddock, this Wildcat outfit, but they have been rocked with some wonderful rugby league football by Salford. Eagerness, good running, good quick play of the ball. You can see that Wakefield are having to get back. They're not moving forward into the faces of this Salford man carrying the football.
Well, Ben Jeffries went off the field, and I think he might have come straight back on. Let's go and check out the situation. Bill.
10, 6.
Are you there, Bill?
Toing and throwing on the sidelines. David Solomona came off with a cut over his right eye, pouring blood. He was patched up and went back on, and no sooner did he go back on than Ben Jeffries sustained an injury. Now it looks like a shoulder problem that Jeffries has got, and if he is out of action, that really is a big blow for the Wildcats. They've got enough problems as it is.
And they have another one here, because that is the third ball that David Solomona has dropped in this match already. And Salford, the pressure is telling on the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats here.
You can't afford to do that. He's having a nightmare, I'm afraid, David Solomona. We've given him such a huge rap in the build-up to this game. We know his quality, but you do have games where it just does not come right.
Wakefield lost here in August by 37 points to 0, and the signs do not look good tonight so far as Doonerman takes the ball on again.
He was looking for the second runner there on that second phase. No one came.
This is Robinson. He gets the ball away to Brocklehurst. Oh, Salford are running riot, and Wakefield are getting cut to shreds. Carl Harrison barks another instruction down the walkie-talkie.
Just basic rugby league football. Plenty of effort, into a good position, and the quality of the little halfback. Doonerman back on the inside, watch him play the ball quickly, and then Robinson will take full control. All you got to do is just come with me. You can't afford to hang back. Robinson would have taken about 15 steps forward. All came about from the error from David Solomona. As I say, he's having a nightmare of a night. And Brocklehurst says, we'll have another. Boy, are they enjoying it.
Well, Salford are, but Wakefield aren't. I can tell you that. They battled away last week and only lost to Huddersfield, controversially, in the last minute when a decision by the referee went against them. But Salford, well, this is an unbelievable start to the season for them. It's better, I'm sure, than even Carl Harrison would have dared hope for. This is David Hodgson to try and add the extras. He hasn't had a difficult kick tonight so far, all in and around the posts, and it's 24 points to 0 that the Salford City Reds are ahead.
And fully deserved.
Here we are. We asked the question whether Ruthless, boy, were they 3 runs straight forward, and then they converted it with that 4th try. Outstanding opening here now from Salford.
And it all came about by the fact that Wakefield did not move forward. You can't allow a man as skillful as this. Look how they just held back. Solomona couldn't get to him. Brocklehurst Very delighted indeed.
David March launches the kick-off, and I must say, Salford look full of it, don't they? It is a highly impressive opening 23 minutes. 24 points they've scored in, and they have another penalty here.
Well, you've got to say at the moment, they've only made their first change, Salford, and that's a reflection of how much ball they've had, possession. What they've done in the first 5 games this year in Super League, they've been measly to the opposition. They give you nothing. They get their sets of 6 out, they defend very solid, and at the moment, they're doing everything real ruthless, with a real clinical flavour to it, and the scoreline's a true indication how well they're going.
And if people like David Solomona, Steve-O, are dropping the ball for Wakefield, sadly, that will make the players around him drop their heads.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's an enigma. He knows, and all the players around him know what he's capable of. Still not over. Don't worry. They'll fight back. They'll try their best. But how can they stop this rampaging red side?
I must say, I'm very impressed, Phil, with Duneman and Robinson. The combination is working.
They look fantastic. I think Finnegan was good for them last week against Wigan. He's been good tonight again, as is Haggerty now, providing that impact off the bench. It's amazing, isn't it? Salford's problem last year, Eddie, they just couldn't score enough tries. Defensively, they conceded the same over the whole season as Bradford Bulls, but they just couldn't score tries. You wouldn't imagine that, would you, after watching 25 minutes here today?
It just makes a difference when you've got an experienced player like Andrew Duneman, because it takes a lot of pressure. Everybody was expecting everything for Luke Robinson to do everything, and then they'd look for Alka to do all the work in the forward. Now Salford are playing as a team, as a unit.
That was a brilliant pickup by Solomona. He's had a bit of stick for the ball he's dropped tonight, but that was a fantastic pickup around his ankles. And Tadulala at dummy half finds Sam Obst. And Wakefield, they really are an obstinate side, aren't they? They will not lie down and take this on the chin. Here is Solomona. Oh, the pass is to Tadulala. It was risky, but it's the sort of thing he's got to try now that there's a 24-0 scoreline against him. There's Solomona again, and it's Obst once more. Drills the kick over the top, and that's going to be too deep.
That's a nothing kick. It won't help them at it. What they needed was good ground position, and he knows it.
Sam Obst, suspended last week, a dangerous throw against Harlequins. He got a try in that game as well. And what would he give for a try right now to breathe a bit of life into Wakefield's challenge here?
Yeah, it was a tackle where a spear tackle, and I remember talking to Tony Smith, the Wakefield coach, about it, and he said, how can Sam Obst put up with a spear tackle? He's the smallest man in rugby league.
Great run from Andy Coley. There's more danger here. Wilshire is alongside him. The ball should have come in field, actually, because Aaron Moole was looking very, very dangerous.
Well, he should have got on with it. He hoped that the referee was going to pull him up for offside. They didn't get back to 10, but you've got to go on with it.
And they kick through. Someone's taken out in back play. It was Fitzpatrick. Ball runs dead. The touch judge.
He's on, he's got to be, surely.
The touch judge.
Sam Obst was trying to escort Fitzy out of the ground, I think, there, Ian.
Yeah, but it's interesting who made this decision. The linesman hasn't come in. The referee didn't make the decision. It's come through the fourth official.
I think it's either done that or it's come through the microphone in the ear from the touch judge to the referee.
Okay.
Either or.
It doesn't matter which official says it. It needs to be a penalty.
And they've got it right.
And they'll take the tap, surely, in the mood that they're in.
Oh, it's definitely the right decision, and definitely they've got to take the tap. They've got to put misery on him here now.
Carl Harrison never looks like he's enjoying things, does he? But inside he must be absolutely bubbling with this.
He's a prop forward, and when they're not out on the paddock hitting people, they don't enjoy it.
Great ball from Robinson again. And Coley looks to the referee, doesn't get the penalty. The looping pass, though, to Robinson. Robinson, then it comes back infield once more, and that is Simon Baldwin.
Stay there.
They've got to stop themselves, Salford, going out, one out, trying to score themselves. They've got to play as a unit.
Haggerty on the charge.
Onside.
Ran onto that willingly, didn't he?
Will Alka go on his own?
No, he fires the pass. Oh, it's another try. Is that Stuart Littler? No, it isn't. It is Finnegan. Finnegan comes up with his second try. Good play from Salford.
All about getting a good position, good hard work from the forwards, especially the second row at Andy Coley. He burst down that blind side. Then it was backed up then again from Haggerty. And it's just sheer, simple, basic rugby league. Run onto the football, and if you're not down to make sure the tackle was there, Nothing that David March can do about this. Just reaches out. Finnegan, I'll take the second. Thank you very much indeed. I'm looking for a hat-trick. Everybody's happy when you're in red. Not so if you're in blue tonight.
Big smiles on the face of every Salford player.
Well, they have a number of players threatening the Wakefield line. They've worked their way upfield, but that variety of which ways they've scored here today just goes to show whether it's kicks, passes, runs or power, they can find a way or through and over and past the Wakefield defence. Another try, one-way traffic, and they're wondering whether this is real or is this a bad dream tonight.
It's a depressing little group of individuals behind the post, isn't it, at the moment? Depressed rather than depressing. I beg your pardon, gentlemen.
Accepted, Eduardo.
David Hodgson. Well, this is his most difficult kick. How good a kicker is he?
Not bad.
Look, he's not bad at all. I think I'm right in saying he hasn't kicked much, if at all, in his career before this. But he's faultless tonight.
Certainly is, but you can't say that about the Wakefield defence. Look at that. 3 in a very tight area to play the ball. Only David March had to be beaten, and Finnegan did that with ease.
David Hodgson, there's the try scorer, Simon Finnegan. David Hodgson hasn't kicked a goal in his entire career before this season. He's 5 from 5 tonight. He's got 10 prior to tonight, so he's now got 15 in the first month of Super League 11.
And he's made a great start. I think it's worth as well, we've watched this game for half an hour almost now, to just give Malcolm Walker some credit. I think they've actually lessened his workload but increased the quality of what he provides for the team. The width and accuracy of his passes, the direction for the players to get out of this danger zone has been outstanding, and I think he's been really impressive in the opening 30 minutes.
I think you'd have to say that, Phil, about the entire Salford outfit. They're looking for work, but the way that they're trying to get on with it, play the ball quickly, Wakefield just aren't up to it. Look, they're making one stride and then saying, where are they coming from? Let's play on.
It is play on, and this is a drive forward by Highton, who started the rot for Wakefield. Well, Leeds 34-6 up in the south of France, 30 points to 0 here at Salford. And this is Tadulala.
He really is teasing them, isn't he? These little kicks from Luke Robinson. Controlling things out there in that first department. He's taking first receiver. They're mixing it along with Andrew Dooneman. They're just confusing this Wakefield defence. They've got them for offside.
That's a relieving penalty for Wakefield.
They've got to dump it into the corner. I don't know why they want to bother with a tap. Get it into the corner, calm things down, and just try to stop the momentum. Plenty to choose from at Phil Benton. First time we've seen this referee on Super League, but I must say, he's done very well so far.
And that was Monty Beetham who restarted, and the drive forward by Mark Applegarth. Second start of the year for Applegarth here. And Beetham again finds Sam Obst, and Obst just about holds on. Salford's match completely at the moment, and Solomona gets the pass away, and it's shuttled further wide.
Well, it wasn't,
and it's
really
all going wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't really on that. He's trying to force a pass in impossible situations.
I'll tell you what, in 8.5 minutes the players will be leaving the field. Carl Harrison will have them out there for the full 80 minutes if he could, without a break. Tony Smith will want to get at them.
Find him properly.
He has work to do. What do you say? Well, I don't know whether you won't know this year, Ian, but what do you say to a team that's 13-0 up after half an hour?
Well, I think we've been acknowledging Malcolm Alker, and I think the first person Malcolm Alker acknowledges is his front row and his pack of forwards. They've been very ruthless on their go forward. They're very dominant, very straightforward, and they're the ones who are laying the platform. But on the other side, you look at people like Griffin and Korkoutis, they're not getting a chance to go to and through them and really be direct at them. I think that's the difference. They need to build some momentum, they need to build some pressure, they need to build it through their forwards.
Wilshire offloads, finds Alker, who had to stretch for it. It's better defence from Wakefield here. That's 4 tackles gone, only 15 metres made by the Salford City Reds. This is Haggerty. Haggerty's pass is picked out of the air by Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has time to change direction twice before he's collared by Solomona. This is the last tackle for Salford. Kick from Duneman has to be good, and Obb's got a terrible kick on the shin. Oh, and he's writhing in agony, Sam Obst. And these players don't do that unless they are really, really hurt.
And he's hopping back into the line there, and he caught it fair and square on the shin. Well, just below the knee anyway.
This is Korkidas.
It's time now for Wakefield just to make sure they camp down there.
Well, they've got Ben Jeffries off the field, and they've now got Obst receiving treatment. And this is a critical phase of the game for Wakefield if they're going to try and stop the avalanche. It's Solomona to March. And now it's Paul White. And March again. It bounced. Dimitriou, was that a knock on? The referee says no, so play on. Dimitriou has it. This is the last tackle. Oh no, the referee has got the call from his touch judge now, and he will give the knock on, and it will be head and feed to Salford.
Well, nothing's going right for the Wildcats. And previous to this, there was just a little fumble. It's a little bit late, was the official on that far side. And that's the one because he missed it. He went to kick the football, and because he missed it, it's classified as a knock-on. Well spotted by the official. A little bit late somewhat.
Sam Obst, by the way, is soldiering on, but he has moved out to the left-hand side here, and they're trying to hide him on the wing for the time being.
Well, not surprisingly, Salford are going in at this section, and he caught it fair and square, didn't he?
And it was the toe end of the boot as well. That is painful, because I think I'm right in saying that these players do not wear shin guards like their soccer counterparts. And there was an almighty clatter as that boot hit Sam Obst's shin.
Do you know, I heard...
oh, that's a dangerous throw.
Well, he certainly came in, but he was still moving. I heard the other day that a couple of the hookers don't even bother with shin guards these days. I suppose they don't need them.
This is Coley. Oh, doesn't he do well, and finds Wilshire. And is Wilshire looking to offload? He is. He was thinking about putting that through the legs of Jason Dimitriou to Malcolm Alker. Now he'll just play it normally to Alker. Here is Robinson, and a kick from Robinson. Bounces all the way down and is collected by Tom Saxton on loan from Hull.
Did well, Robinson. Made sure everyone was onside. Neat little kick through. He's been in superb form in this first half. This has been vintage rugby league football, and look at the defence. Listen to the crowd here. This will bring them back to the Willows. They mean business. Come to daddy. Bang.
And that's Korkidas who feels the full weight of the Salford defence. Tadulala, and Alka stood his ground again. This is White. That's the last tackle. Good Salford defence again. And look at the metres gained by Salford. 8-4-3. 450 by Wakefield. And Obst remarkably continues on. That's his high kick, fielded by Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick is quick.
Exciting to watch as well, isn't it? Good position by the fullback. Great to see that Obst is back to nearly 100%. It's a pretty good high kick as well.
Aaron Moole plays the ball. Hodgson finds Simon Finnegan.
Salford have really worked that tight blindside on both parts of the field. Good, hard, solid work. Forwards looking for it, not shying. Give it to me, they're saying.
And this is Aaron Moole again. Widnes didn't really see the best of Aaron Moole. 9 tries, though, in the first 9 rounds of Super League last year for the Vikings, as they slipped out of the elite competition. Strong run again here from Saxton for Wakefield. They're looking to get something from the wreckage of this first half. And they've slowed the point scoring down. Salford were going at the rate of more than a point a minute, but we're now, what, 2 3/4 away from half-time?
Well, this is probably one of the most efficient performances by any team that I've seen this year, Salford. They've gone through everything correctly, got good field position. The kick has been superb.
Just hearing, by the way, that Alex Chan has just been shown the red card in the south of France for Catalan Dragons against Leeds. They're already well and truly behind the 8 ball as far as the game is concerned on the scoreboard, and they have to suffer the second half with just 12 men. So it's not going pretty good for the Catalan Dragons. It's going anything but good for David March and his counterparts here from Wakefield. We'll see, by the way, the highlights of that first half from the south of France during half-time here.
To be fair, Eddie, I don't think anybody, beyond their wildest dreams, even the Salford fans, would have thought that near half-time there would be a scoreline of 30 points to 0. It really has stunned Wakefield. It stunned me. I expected Salford to play well, but they're superb.
They're playing really well. As I say, Carl Harrison would like them to stay out there. Tony Smith can't wait to get at his team.
You know, Wakefield almost won the first game of this season, losing narrowly to Bradford. Week after, very poor performance. Last week, perhaps could have won against Huddersfield, follow that up again with a poor performance. So maybe they're going close and not coming up with the reward. It's taken it out to the medic.
Great kick. Fitzpatrick gets the ball away, and it's another try for Highton. Luke Robinson has undone them with a couple of wonderful kicks. And that was out of the top draw. He actually signalled to all the players around him that he was going to do that, Luke Robinson. Salford read the script, Wakefield didn't. Watch this.
See how he waved to everybody. Oh, beautiful bounce. Oh, that is superb stuff. Fitzpatrick knew. Maybe just a touch of doubt on the last pass, who knows. But the fullback knew what he was going, and he knew that it was going to have Highton there again. That is great support work. That's a nice finish to a good first half.
Well, teammates, they utilise one another's strengths. Fitzpatrick working so well with Robinson. 5th tackle try, yet again. Clinical, takes them in at half-time. Just looking so good here.
They are looking good. I doubt if I have ever seen a first 40 minutes like this from the Salford City Reds. This is a throwback to the old days for the older supporters when the likes of David Watkins and co were playing. This is magnificent for Salford. And Hodgson, this for a 36-0 lead at half-time, and 36-0 it is. Wonderful first half from the Salford City Reds. Their supporters rise to a man to applaud them off the field, and Carl Harrison, well, did you see the little glance he gave somebody then? I don't think even he could have dreamt that this would have happened in the opening 40 minutes here. The Wakefield fans are shell-shocked, and they actually, I heard 1 or 2 boos coming from their end as their players left the field. What a first half for Salford. Breathtaking stuff. They lead 36-0.